Today, we're going to be going over some wide receiver drills based on in-game routes. So how this video is going to go down is we're going to show a drill like the one showcased on the screen right now, and then we're going to show how it relates to an actual in-game route, an NFL example of a route, so you guys kind of get the idea behind the drill. So I hope this helps. Hope this gives you some value. So this first drill is going to be, I would say, our 4-cone rocker step drill. So this drill is going to be working on a technique called a rocker step. So a rocker step is something you could use on a post route, on a corner route, on a dig, on an out route. I would say anything where you could cut off of 1 foot that is deeper than probably 8 yards. And I know a lot of you are familiar with that, but essentially what it is, like if I was running a post right here, instead of just cutting off of my left foot at the top of the break, then cutting, I would start the move with my right foot. I'd want to step in the direction I am going first. So I would step with the right foot, and then I would throw the left foot cut to try to fake like I am running a corner. Now, when I do those 2 steps, it's very, very important that when I step with my right foot, I am pushing off my right foot into the left cut to sell it. So my body goes with the cut to sell it, but also so there's like some speed to it, right? So that's what this drill is ultimately working on. And then, like we said, we're going to show a game speed example of this drill. So you're going to have a starting cone here, and that cone is going to be about 5 yards away from your first cut. And this first cut is going to be at this cone. So you're going to need 4 cones for this drill. Super simple, you guys. And each cone is going to be like at a 45-degree angle away from each other. I would say probably about 2 yards away. So this first cone is 5 yards away from your starting point, and you are going to cut off of this cone on your 3rd step. So when you cut, that's like your first rocker step, that 3rd step. So you're going to have a hard cut. You're going to push to the next cone, push to the next cone, push to the next cone, then burst out, and we're going to be having like replicating almost like a post route in a sense. If you have a quarterback, your quarterback would stand here and throw you a ball. If you don't have a quarterback, you could do this just fine. So I'm going to play this full speed, and then we'll break it down again and kind of explain the mechanics of this drill. So remember, it's off your thirds of 1, 2, 3, and then we go back and forth on the cones. So remember, like I said, you come up into this, it's 1, 2, 3. That's the first hard step. Now, it's very, very important when you take that step, your cut is inside of your frame, and you are cutting on the ball middle arch of your foot. The middle arch of your foot is like if you're wearing a pair of Adidas cleats and you have that Adidas logo on the inside part of your foot, that is like that middle arch. That is where you are pushing off of. So you're going to push off of that middle arch into the next cone because that's essentially the rocker step that we want to take. So we push off the middle arch. Then again, you push off the middle arch of your left foot to there. Then you push off the middle arch of your right foot again to there. And then we push and drive out. So it's really just working on that push from the inside part of your foot on that rocker step break. Because guys, when we're trying to work a move, if I'm doing this rocker step, let's imagine that this first cut is like 12 yards downfield, right? I'm trying to push off of this foot so my hips, my upper body go with the second step to be able to sell the step. Because if a DB's guarding me and he's watching my hips actually have to go with the move. A lot of guys will try to do this rocker step and they just step, and that doesn't sell anything. So guys, I'm going to play at full speed again, and then we will get into a pro example. So off the 3rd step, we are pushing back and forth from cone to cone. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right off that 3rd step, that is what ultimately starts the move. Now, there's a second drill that can work on this rocker step, but we're going to show the in-game example before we show this second drill, because the second drill will make more sense after we show the full speed example. But before we get into that, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. So guys, we are going to be coming out to San Francisco, Orlando, Phoenix, Charlotte, Austin, Las Vegas, Seattle, Chicago, Newark, Birmingham, Houston, Boston, Columbus, Boise, and Los Angeles, you guys. So guys, you want some more information, want to learn how you could sign up for any one of these cities. All of these camps will sell out within the next 2 months, you guys. All of our camps last year sold out, and we had to turn down a lot of people because we limit the spots for these camps. So guys, check out that very first link in the description below. Again, very first link in the description below. That's where you could sign up and attend one of our 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. Let's get back to this video. So now let's talk about this pro example here. So this is an example of Justin Jefferson using that rocker step. So this just so you guys get an idea of the type of push that we ultimately need. So like from foot to foot, right? So going into this break, hits that 1, 2, and this is like kind of like a dig route, I guess you could say. It could be considered a glance. I would consider it more of a dig, but let's pay attention to the first step that he takes, right? That first step of the rocker step. Remember, you want to step in the direction you are going first. So you're shooting that that cleat into the grass, remember it's inside your frame. This is not a big overemphasized step. And so remember that 4-cone rocker step drill that we did. What was the goal of that drill? That goal of that drill was to work on that push off of the middle arch of your foot so you could sell the outside fake. We're trying to make this DB think that Justin Jefferson is running an out route or a corner route. So we have to push off of this foot, and you see how he's pushing off that middle arch. You see how his knee kind of caves in a little bit. I'm not saying that you should shoot for a knee cave position, but naturally that's where you're going to get when you're pushing off of that foot. Because again, DB's guarding us. He's watching our hips, so I have to sell the second part of this move with my hips. It's a hard step. I'm putting my cleats into the grass. I'm stepping hard. You should be able to hear your first step. It shouldn't be a soft step, you guys. So we push off of it. His hips, his upper body, and the step all go at the exact same time. That's what gets that DB to jump, and that's what gets him separation back over the middle. So that's how you would use it in a game situation, you guys. So now let's get into this next drill. So this drill is going to be, I call this our L stick drill, but we were working a rocker step at the top of the break. So we're working just a single cut at this first cone, single cut at the second cone, and then we were working a rocker step at this top cone. So the rhythm of this drill, and this drill is going to be done off of steps. Remember how on the last drill, I had those 4 cones set up that you guys were going back and forth from. And remember, leading into the first cone, it was off of your 3rd step. So this drill is also going to be like kind of off of steps. To this first cone, you were going to cut off of your 2nd step. Then you're going to cut off your 3rd step on this cone. And then we are going to be doing the rocker step off of my 3rd step at the top. But the reason why we do this drill is because we are doing 2 90-degree cuts first that are off of 1 foot. And then at the top, we are going to be doing a double cut, aka the rocker step. We want to make it look like literally you're just making another 90-degree break, but you're catching yourself on your outside foot. These first 2 cuts kind of replicate what the first cut should feel like so it looks the same. All great route runners, you guys are able to make their routes look the same. We run a post, and then we use a rocker step on a corner. We should make it look exactly like my post with just 1 step. It's not like a post corner where you got to take 3 steps, but it should look relatively similar. So let's watch this drill like semi-full speed, and then we'll break it down. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top, right? And again, this is a very slow-paced drill. I want you guys to kind of get the feel for it, be able to see the steps of this. Obviously, the goal is to be able to go full speed, but I understand that some of you might be new to this, might be thinking about steps, so that's why we ultimately want to slow it down. But again, we come off the ball. Your left foot is up. It's like your quarterback is over here. So we take 2 steps, so it's 1, 2. On the 2nd step, we're making a hard cut, and then right off of that step, we are pushing, and this next step would be considered my first step. 1, 2, 3, cutting off my 3rd step here. I'm pushing back up vertical. This next step would be considered my first step. 1, 2, 3, cut off of this foot, make it look exactly like I am running this out route. I am pushing off the middle arch, put my foot in the ground. Again, you're just catching yourself. You're running an out route until you're not. And then we break back to this post route. So that is another great drill for you guys to be able to work on your rocker step. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're out on this post. So if you combine that drill with that 4-cone rocker step drill, those are 2 easy ways to improve this rocker step, which is a great move you could use, remember, on any route like a post, a corner, a dig, or an out.